Right, here we go. Thermo Clubman Saloons race number 1. Lots and lots of Clubman's cars out there. A good couple of new car driver combinations as well. Even lady races out there, the likes of Sandra Becker that has joined us today once again. Let's hope that most everybody gets out there. And frankly, there's a good couple of new liveries that we're going to have to get accustomed to as well. I see there's already one car that's pulled off on the entrance to turn number 1.
Yeah, Jordan was watching. That is ex-GTI Challenge driver. That's Mario Roux that has pulled off on the escape road that takes you to turn 4.
Yeah, he would have been in 9th position on the pull away.
Yeah, he did a 126 odd, and I just saw the car pull off, and Jordan had a quick squiz and said to me, "It's Mario." Here comes host through your screen as well. That is Stephen. That's
from Thermo Fires.
From Thermo Fires, yes. This is the Thermo Fires Clubman's regional saloon class.
Nice to see that Stephen is out there, and also nice to see that some people that have not been around for a while are back there, / Clint Renard.
Shane DeToy as well has been out of action for a long time, as well as Bruce Meyer.
And Dexter Bruce.
Yeah, but Dex he's going to be doing double duty today. BMW class and Clubman's regional series. And Gaza, it's also nice to know that the classic cars, for the first time ever, is also running Western Province Regional Championship. They've never done that before, so they also qualified together with Clubman's and Superbikes for Western Province Motorsport colours now.
Jess Huggett getting his motor back from PE just in time. It hasn't been on the dyno yet. He says it pulls okay, nothing too major, nothing too fantastic. He's not expecting it to be as quick as what it was before, but desperately trying to get out there and get the season started. There's Jess Huggett. You see out on circuit, and look at that beautiful Mark 1 Golf behind that.
That is none other than Mr. Shane Justice, and behind him is Dylan Hubert, and you'll see Dylan with the number 1 on his car. He is a 2025 Thermo Fires Clubman's regional saloon car champion.
Paul Minnick as well.
And he will defend that title for 2026 as the Clubman's cars work by. Remember, they don't do standing starts anymore. For the last 2 events of 2025, they brought in the rolling starts. So that's the way it will be for this year as well. Watching the cars working their way through. I see Adrian Roberts is in a Polo. Now, he raced a Golf 1 last year, and that yellow Polo going through your shot there, that is Adrian Roberts.
So Stephen Close finds himself on the front row of the grid. That in conjunction with Shane DeToy, Clint Renard and Dexter Bruce on the second row of the grid. Now keep in mind that Stephen Close is in fact a Class B car, and he finds himself on the front row of the grid. So brilliant qualifying for the man from Thermo Fires, the heads-up sponsor for Clubman's once again for 2026.
And then we see that Chrysler out there as well, together with that Ford Falcon, the 2 blocker flats cars, office blocks, especially the Chrysler. And that will be in the hands of Andre van der Merwe. The Ford Falcon will be in the hands of Eva de Toy, trying to pick them up. They're still filtering through the kink. And that's a handful of car, is that Chrysler and that Ford Falcon that is side by side with a David Ferree just in there behind them in that Golf 1.
32 entries in total that make it out for Thermo Fires Clubman's race number 1, round number 1 of the regional series. And I didn't see Clint Renard. Is he
Clint is there? Yes, there's he, Gary. He's looking out the back window of the commentary box. He's definitely there.
Is that not the 112 of Shane DeToy?
No, that's Clint. I'm looking out the back window of the commentary box. It is the number 3 car of Clint Renard.
Oh, fantastic to have him back out on circuit again. It shows on the leaderboard, it shows Shane DeToy, Class A. But I suppose that is still from the qualifying session that it's showing that.
Yeah,
so Jess Huggett back out on circuit again. Fantastic to have the old stalwart out there. And he's starting, I think there's around about, well, there's supposed to be 32 out there, but I think there's around about 32 on our original screen as they come around. And this, as Frankie was saying, going to be the rolling start. Frankie Innes, take him off a line.
The red lights are on. We're waiting for 8 laps of racing action. The lights go off now, and away they go. Dropping the hammers as they work their way down the Porsche Club straight towards turn 1 into Block Point corner. That's Renard that sits out there in P1. It's Host that's in second. Working their way through turn number 1 out of Block Point. It's Michael Lussier that finds himself in that third position. Sorry, now in P4 because he's just been overtaken there as they make their way towards Castro corner. Oh, there's a car that's going to hit the wall. Woo! It's one of the Podos. It's either Trappist or it's Bruce Meyer. I think it may be Bruce Meyer. He's going to recover the track again. Thank goodness he stayed away from the wall.
Clint Renard doing an excellent job at this stage of the fight, starting to make a bit of a break there. Stephen Goos, Dexter Bruce, as always, right near the front end of the pack. Michael this year, one of the fastest Mark 1 goals, also playing ball at the front end of the pack.
Right. As they head down the Tigerberg Straight, it's all about Clint Renard. When last has he completed a race or even won one? We're not going to get there yet because he's got still 7 and a bit laps to do before he sees the checkered flag. As it's a whole stream of Clubman's regional saloon cars that is racing down towards Cape Town corner.
Look at that mid-pack, very, very tight in that little group. And that's Zak Groenewald.
Yeah.
I think Zak Groenewald didn't do qualifying. He came off the back end. Oh, somebody's smoking bad. That looks like it could be Jesse Huggett. Yep, it's Jesse Huggett that is stranded as he comes up the front main. Total heartbreak.
Oh, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Jess Huggett sadly out of this one as the entire Clubman's field roll through. The leaders are making their way out of a Castro corner. We'll pick them up for you there. They're heading out of Castro towards Lundstem Kink. That's Clint Renard P1. That's Stephen Goos. That's there in that second position. Then it's Dexter Bruce. Behind Dexter Bruce, that's Michael Lussier. Heading through. That's the first 4 cars. Here
and
comes
look at the 5th place.
Shane Justice sitting out there in P5. Then it is Dylan Hubert. Behind Hubert, it's Paul Minnick. And it's side-by-side stuff between Van Tonda and Shane DeToy that are sitting in P8 and P9. We'll see them coming to view pretty soon as they're having their own little fight there in that 8th and 9th position.
Well, as the front runners come through, a special shout out there for Shane Justice. First time out with this motor car and already lying in that 5th position, putting up some pretty decent times. He's got Dylan Joubert and Paul Minnick directly in there behind him. Then it's Trappist Van Tonda is the next man that comes through behind that.
Yeah, Trappist Van Tonda is going to make his way through. He sits there just behind Minnick. That's Trappist Van Tonda. Then it's Adrian Roberts coming towards us. Chris Fursch is in that race as well. So is Arendse and that blue BMW of David Vermaak. That's the 2 of them side by side going into the left-hander now. Then it's Kannemeyer and Fourie as they make their way through. Then Sandra Becker coming through as well with that purple-coloured BMW.
So the lady racers having a whole bunch of fun out there as we see our leaders coming into sight. Clint Renard initially got a bit of a gap, but it hasn't gotten any wider than what it was. Stephen Goos right in there, and Dexter Bruce is starting to put the pressure on. In there behind that is Shane Justice. And, well, here comes Zak Groenewald. Zak Groenewald from the back end of the pack. Zak Groenewald's going hunting.
Zak Groenewald is on an absolute mission, and he's just ahead there of Shane DeToy. Behind Shane DeToy, we have got Justice. That is Justice looking on our screen now. That's Michael Lussier coming through. Then just ahead of them is Dexter Bruce, and just ahead of Dexter Bruce is Stephen Goos. as we watch this group of cars work its way out of Cape Town corner.
Oh, the leaders going down into turn number 1. That's Clint Renard, it's Stephen Gous, that's Dexter Bruce, it's Michael Lussier. That's the black Golf. In there behind that white and blue BMW, that is Zach Groenewald, Shane de Toy. Then it is the other Shane Justice. Joubert Minnick just went through. That is Trappist van Tonder that went through now. He finds himself 4th in class. Then it's Roberts and First. Side by side for Mark Fourie, Arendse and Kannemeyer, all of them very close to one another. And then behind that, Sandra Becker.
Yeah, and then to Blanche, that is one of our new drivers in car number 40. Nice to see him out there on track as we watch the leaders make their way into Saddle Sweep. Through Saddle they go now. That is a Samuel to Blanche I was talking about. That's your front runners. That's working their way out of that double right-hander, and watch out for that car coming into your screen, that BMW of Zach Groenewald, as the leader works his way down into Pertamina Fast Run. That man sitting in front, and he's been hunted down. He's been hunted down. Renard has been hunted down here by Gous, with Dexter Bruce in that 3rd spot. Behind Dex, we should have Michael Lussier come into view. That's your first 3. Well, that's not Lussier that's coming into view. As a matter of fact, that is Zach Groenewald that's heading towards us. Michael Lussier has disappeared off the radar. Here comes Justice, de Toy. There's Justice, there's Munich, there's Dylan Joubert, there's Trappist van Tonder, and Lussier, as you can see, Gaza, is dropping down the leaderboard.
There you can see there, Frankie, he's gone off, and you see him driving there into the pits. So behind that, Roberts First for Mark Fourie. They all pretty much on top of one another as they work their way down towards turn number 1. There's a whole gaggle of cars.
Yeah, Lance Arendse and Sandra Becker, they are side by side. There is a Chris Firsch, and he's got that fight with David Fourie. Then it's Roberts, then David Vermaak, and Peter Kannemeyer in that fight as well. But back to the front runners we go. There is Justice, Munich, Joubert, Van Tonder, all rolling through Damstip.
Yep, we wait for the next group to come through. Behind that, behind Van Tonder, here comes Firsch, Fourie, that's the orange one, Roberts, Vermaak, they changing positions. Kannemeyer, Arendse, and then our lady racer Becker. But going down the back main is of our frequent flyers, and they still sitting in that group.
Yeah, that is closer. Oh, is that Trappist van Tonder?
That looks like Trappist has gone wide, and that is Shane Justice that has gone through, and he brings with him a whole bunch of very quick motor cars.
Yeah, he brings Munich through with him as well. Paul Munich coming through. So Trappist van Tonder has lost a lot of positions. Dylan Joubert just faltering across. Trappist is up on the inside. It's not Trappist, as a matter of fact. It was once again Bruce Meyer. Trappist just went past Bruce Meyer going into turn 1.
I believe that we got Clint Renard has gone off at the exit of turn 1. Our lead car. Oh my goodness, yep, Clint Renard has gone and parked it. The leader is out of it this time.
Yeah, we see him. That's a number 3 car. That's in trouble out there, man. I shouldn't have said what I said. I just gave him the commentator's curse. Here comes Justice towards us. And the toy not too far behind him. Through goes Joubert. Here comes Trappist van Tonder. We thought Trappist was in trouble early on the main straight, but it was actually Bruce Meyer that was in trouble. There's a yellow flag waving entrance to turn 5 to Cape Town corner. Just pick it up on the window here. We're trying to see. But look at Zach Groenewald. Zach is on the case of Stephen Gous.
There's a car standing on the outside of the circuit, Frankie. There's the silver Golf.
Yep.
That we missed out on, and that is that one. So Zach Groenewald coming off the back end of the pack and going to fetch Stephen Gous. Stephen Gous having the race of his life.
Yeah, Groenewald is right on the case of Gous as they work their way out of one. Then behind them is Dexter Bruce. But we see this whole gaggle of race cars, if I can call them that, going through. There is, once again, Bruce Meyer just staying right out the way. There is Lance Arendse. There is Adrian Roberts as they come through. Just behind them, should I say ahead of them, you've got the blue BMW of David Vermaak. Here's Chris Firsch running through as well as it's a ailing Bruce Meyer. Well, he said to me, pre-race, at the pre-race paddock, he was saying to me earlier on, he hasn't raced for about, 3-4 years. So he needs to get back into the swing again, does Bruce Meyer. And there's a stranded car on the outside between Damstep, going up the Tygerberg Straight towards turn 4, Saddle Sweep.
Oh, we've got a couple of quickies that's working their way. Well, there's our leaders, and Zak Groenewald has got as far as Mr. Thermo Fires trying to have a look up on the inside line. That is for first and second position with 2 laps to go. Can Stephen Goos win out race number 1 in the Thermo Fire class for this season? Will Zak Groenewald be able to beat him out? I think we need to follow these two through the final lap.
Through the final lap, and not too far behind them is Dexter Bruce that sits there in that third
Zak
spot.
sideways.
Dex just came up into your shot there. There your 2 front runners go along the Tygerberg Straight towards turn 2 Castrol. That's Dexter Bruce. That's not too far behind them. This is one of the back markers. You see Dexter Bruce on the top of your screen, working his way out. Here we go. This is Goos and Groenewald. I would not bet against Zak in winning this one. Watch Zak. He knows it's the final lap, Gaza. He's crowding. He's moving around behind him, trying to confuse him. Watch Zak Groenewald go into Cape Town corner. That's where you'll have to launch an attack. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
They get past the stranded Sam de Blanche car, but Goos is going to have to cover that inside line. Zak Groenewald got great drive out of Saddle Sweep. He does exactly that. He doesn't want to have the commentator's curse. It's all about Stephen Goos on the last corner. Can Zak Groenewald use that BMW power to squeeze it up on the inside? And that's exactly what he does on the last corner. Can Stephen Goos fight back? It's purely down to the power.
They're nearly side by side towards the line, but Goos is going to get to the line just ahead of Zak Groenewald by 0.3 of a second. Dexter Bruce comes across the line in P3. And he is 7.3 seconds behind Groenewald. Here comes a Shane de Toy. Welcome back, Shane. And the man we call the mayor.
Justice.
The mayor of Boersig, we call him Shane Justice, comes home.
From Paul Minnick. And that Paul Minnick did a pretty decent job on that one. From Joubert and then Trappist van Tonder. Still makes it through. So Justice first in class and Fourie second in class, that being Class X.
So we're waiting for the rest of the guys to come through.
That should be Andre Fourie.
But he is, and Chris Fursch in there behind him. And here comes David Vermaak.
Going a lot slower right towards the end.
And side by side is Adrian Roberts and Sandra Becker across the line.
Oh, the lady racer did a pretty decent job for her first outing. She comes second in class, that in Class D. Vermaak coming through first, Becker coming through second, and Orange coming through in third in class. Class A was De Toy. Clint Renard fell out of it. Jess Huggett fell out of it. Class B was Goos from Groenewald. Lovely dice that from Minnick. And then Class C being Dexter Bruce from Joubert and then Van Tonder. Shouldn't actually say Joubert and Van Tonder because there's a whole bunch of Jouberts and there's a whole bunch of Van Tonders as well.
Right, so that was Thermo Fire's Clubman Saloon Cars, race number 1. And that is Sam de Blanche's car that's stuck there along the outside. You've got a couple of replays coming through for the people at home. Guys, that was that silver Golf 1 that smacked into the wall. We're still trying to identify who it was.
Peter Kannemeyer. Could be.
Yeah, it could be Kannemeyer because he didn't finish that race. There is... that is Sam de Blanche that pulled off there. He's one of them. He's in Class X, is Sam de Blanche. He was putting in the same pits, or he is putting in the same pits as Shane Justice and the guys. And that is a replay of him stopping.
How's this for 3 abreast? Block of flats on the outside. BMW of Groenewald coming up on the inside.
Well, that's Andre van der Merwe in that Chrysler. Not an easy motor car to circumnavigate around 3.267 kilometers of Killarney main circuit. But somehow he gets it right.
Some turn 5 action.
Yeah, that's Chris Fursch and Adrian Roberts, and then Sander Becker, Lance Ardense, as the cars work through. That's just some of the replays that happened in race number 1 of Thermo Fires, Clubman's, and Roberts. That is Bruce Meyer that ran pretty wide there in Cape Town corner. Right, so that concludes the Clubman's race. We move on now to the BJ Trustees Formula Libras over 8 racing laps.